And it's almost like you're going to try and internalize that image that you have there. And if you'd like to close your eyes now, so just making that, re-establishing that connection that you have with your feet on the floor and the bottom of the chair. Aware of the weight of the body dropping down through the sitting bones, through the feet. Maybe aware of the length of the spines, the trunk lifting up in space. And sensing, the breath, just any awareness of the breath that you have, wherever it's kind of presenting itself in the body. It might be the belly rising and falling. Or it may be at the nostrils or mouth. Or the rib cage rising and falling, just wherever you notice the breath, resting your tension there. And bring to mind again that image of maybe the mountain that you saw or another mountain that you're familiar with. A really beautiful mountain that you can imagine in your mind's eye. And even if it doesn't come as a visual image, allowing the sense of this mountain and feeling its overall shape, its lofty peak high in the sky, and the kind of the large base in the bedrock of the Earth's crust. Its steep or gently sloping sides. So right now, just focusing on that image in your mind's eye of that large mountain. Noticing how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful, whether from afar or from up close. Perhaps the mountain has snow blanketing its top and trees reaching down to the base, or rugged granite sides. There may be streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes. There may be peaks, meadows, even maybe high lakes. Observing it. And almost imagine that you could bring that mountain into your own body, that kind of sense of presence and strength and solidity. It's massive and still. So grounded in this posture that you are in at the moment, sitting, maybe you could imagine your head is like the lofty peak of the mountain. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain. The buttocks and legs, its solid base, rooted to the earth. And as you sit here, becoming aware of the fact that as the sun travels around the sky, the light and the shadows and colors are changing moment by moment. And the surface teems with life and activity, streams, melting snow, waterfalls, plants, and wildlife. And as the mountain sits, seeing and feeling how night follows day and day follows night, the bright, warming sun followed by the cool night sky, studded with stars. The gradual dawning of a new day. So no matter what happens to the mountain just sits, experiencing the change in every moment, constantly changing, yet always being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another and as the weather changes moment by moment, day by day. In summer, there's no snow, maybe just on some of the peaks, very high peaks. In the autumn, the mountain wears a coat of brilliant fire colours. In the winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog, or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it's not a good day to see the mountain, that it's too cloudy or rainy or foggy or dark. But none of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like it or not. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by whether people see it or not, seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, boiling or frigid, day or night. It just sits there, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude. And through it all, the mountain sits. Spring comes. The leaves appear on the trees, flowers bloom in the high meadows and slopes, birds sing in the trees once again. Streams overflow with the waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the world of appearances, remaining its essential self through the seasons, the changing weather, the activity ebbing and flowing on its surface. So in the same way, we sit in meditation and we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our lives over seconds, hours, years. We experience constantly the changing nature of mind and body and of the outer world. And we have periods of light and darkness, activity and inactivity, our moments of colour and our moments of drabness. It's true that we experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our mind and bodies. Buffeted by high winds, by cold and rain, we endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as moments of joy and uplift. Even our appearance changes constantly, experiencing a weather of its own. So by becoming the mountain, by embodying this mountain in our practice, we can kind of link with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are very much like the weather on the mountain. We take it, we do take it understandably personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied, it is to be encountered, honoured, felt, known for what it is, and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. So we might just sit for just a couple of minutes in that stillness and silence. And if it's helpful, you can continue to imagine that sense of the mountain almost within, or that you're somewhat like a mountain, feeling the base of the body grounded on the earth. Your head lifting up, your spine like the height of the mountain, the lofty peak of the mountain. And like the mountain, there's so much life in the mountain, but also within us, the breath is moving like the wind in the mountain, it's constantly moving in and out. So just resting in that solidity, no matter what the weather pattern of our minds inflicts upon us, we can still connect with our essence, our pure essence. So just now, sitting here, sensing the natural breath as it moves in and out of the body. We may get distracted by our thought patterns, like like the weather on the mountains changes all the time. It'd be really hard not to notice and get distracted. But yeah, you're aware, noting, okay, there's the clouds of worry, the clouds of planning, or whatever language you want to use. Just acknowledging that's what's here and coming back to this body, present, still, solid, breathing. So in your own time, maybe just that sense of the body and aware of the room around you. And if you want to start making just some gentle movements, just to any tension that might be accumulating in the body, just make any movements that you need to. In your own time, maybe opening your eyes if you want.